Hi, welcome to Gear Garage. My name is Zach Collier, and this is my show about gear, boating, basically things that I like to talk about. And today I'm going to talk about stoves, and in particular, this MSR stove that I really like. And so I want to show it to you really quick. If you're an overnight, multi-day paddler, living out of your kayak, this is a really good option for you to have. It's also a good backpacking stove, or just maybe like living out of your truck, need something to make while you're parked by the side of the road. I like this one because it's really sturdy. It's made of metal. It's simple. There's just a few parts. If you open it up, inside is the isopropane, butane, whatever this stuff is. This is the gas in a bottle, and then the stove part. And it's really easy to set up. Basically, just twist this guy on right here. Put this up, and voila. And the thing that was the cap also becomes the handle for carrying it. So it's a really nice, easy to use stove. I'm going to boil some water here real quick and maybe make some coffee so you can kind of see how it works. So that's a liter of water. Easily fits in there. And to light it, you just turn this knob. It's ready to go. That's lit. And there you go. So the other competitor stove that a lot of people use is a Jetboil. And here's a Jetboil I have. This is, I think, called the Sumo. Yeah, it's a Sumo. It's a little bit bigger than normal Jetboil. Same size as this one. And I use this one for a long time. What I don't like about it is it's got a lot of gimmicky parts and a lot of plastic. And the plastic doesn't really work that well. As you can see, the lid doesn't really quite fit on anymore. It kind of sits there. But these are all the parts. And like the MSR stove, this thing twists onto here, and then the stove, instead of like just setting on it there, goes in some like very particular spots like that. And once you've done that, this guy's ready to go. There's also, the lid here, mine's plastic. It's not quite fitting on right, if you can see, but it works. And you basically pour water up and then twist this guy and it starts. Again, this is a decent stove, but if you have the money, I would step up and get the MSR stove. This thing is about $100. This is about $200, so it's quite a bit more, but about the same to set up, but a little less gimmicky. And all the plastic parts I really worry about breaking. One nice thing about the Jetboil stove, though, is it has this built-in lighter, this clicker thing. So you don't have to have matches with you, where the MSR stove doesn't have a built-in lighter. So it sounds like we're about to boil. And what I want to do is make some coffee here. I want to show you a couple more of my favorite things. I'm a big fan of Snow Peak right now, and this is a Snow Peak titanium coffee mug. Now again, these things aren't cheap, but this is double wall titanium. When you pour hot water in here, you won't feel the heat, which is pretty nice. It's simple, it's elegant, and it's beautiful. The other thing I like, and I just used on our trip to Bhutan, is this pour-over gimmicky thing from Snow Peak. Again, Snow Peak's a fun little company. It's all designed, made in Japan, and it basically sits on top of the cup like any pour-over. And what we learned while we were in Japan, or not Japan, in Bhutan, was if you line these corners up with the corners like this, it tends to blow through and leak. If you put the sides of this thing halfway through, it works really well. So for the Snow Peak pour-over thingy, if you just want to make 1 cup of coffee in the morning, just throw some grounds in there and then pour your hot water over. Let's see if we're boiling. We're boiling. Turns out a watched pot does boil. Pour the coffee over the grounds. We did a bunch of these in Bhutan. This was a nice way to have some good coffee where there aren't any coffee makers. I don't know, Trek. There's coffee machines out in the towns, but we were out trekking, so it was nice to have this. And yeah, voila. There's a cup of coffee right there, filled to the brim. So again, this is my favorite stove right now, the MSR I'll put a link in the description about which stove it is. I also like the Dragonfly stove. It's a nice stove if you want to have reusable fuel or use different types of fuel instead of just these canisters. But if you're going to go with a simple canister stove, man, this one's the way to go. So if you have any questions, comments, other opinions, please add them in the comment section down below, down there. And I'll be happy to get back to you, and it's a great way to have a discussion. And that's it for now. Talk to you next time.